Hey guys, it's Cork here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Nexus news that Ember Knights, aka Doom Turtle, just released today. So, this Nexus news will be going over PAX East, upcoming updates, and new game announcements. So, starting off, greetings Knights. It's been a minute since our last Nexus news, but rest assured, we've been busy as ever. 2024 is going to be a massive year for Doom Turtle, but after we dive into a huge new update, let's talk about our recent trip to Boston PAX East. So they went to PAX East. It sounds like it was a great event. PAX East, once again, this was the first time that we attended a PAX event. Without exaggeration, it was amazing. To be able to meet and chat with so many passionate Ember Knights players was an incredible experience. We talked about new content and features, ran a bunch of exciting competitions, gave away a ton of keys, so these are game keys, and even posed for a picture or two. Jeff recruiting some potential Razorwind players. I doubt they're going to become Razorwind players, but you know, that's okay. There is some videos of the actual PAX event, but I'm not going to play them here just because of possible copyright issues. But yeah, this was the crowd waiting for an Ember Knights competition to start. Looks like a pretty big crowd. And this is also the new game mode they brought out just for the competition for PAX. Like, it was only available at PAX, or at least that's what we know so far. And another image, or video actually, of Jeff and Greg giving away free copies of Ember Knights to all the winners. Once again, I'm not going to play the videos. And now to talk about their new game, Legends of Starcadia. So, they didn't just allocate their booth at PAX to Ember Knights, we also unveiled our newest game, Legends of Starcadia. Around the time Ember Knights 1.0 launched, we split into two smaller teams. While half of us have been continuing to support Ember Knights, half of us have been working on Legends of Starcadia. And this is the new game, Legends of Starcadia. There's no demo out yet, but you can go to Steam and wishlist it. When one bored Earthling teen is accidentally teleported to the far-flung Starcadian Empire, he lands face first in the middle of an interdimensional battle between good and evil. With the fate of the universe at stake, now it's up to him and a ragtag bunch of misfits to defeat the shattery extra-dimensional armies of the Empire and become the heroes the system needs. Sounds pretty interesting. Also, if you join the Ember Knights official Discord server, you can see a little bit more about Legends of Starcadia there. Once again, you can check it out on the Steam page, Legends of Starcadia, and you can wishlist it. No demo, but there should be a demo coming out later this year. And now let's look into the shadows of what we've been working on for Ember Knights 1.4, the Skills Mastery Update. So, most of us knew the Skills Mastery update was next. If you looked at the roadmap, you could tell. And with that, they're bringing a new crystal or new item, I guess. I'm assuming it's a one-time item, considering what it's used for. So stay alert as you fight your way through White Spirit, as there's a strange new crystal floating around. And it'll be this very crystal that Evie, the skills NPC, needs to finally upgrade her skill convergence. So using this, she can transmit skill upgrades directly to your skill selectors. Once you've unlocked skill upgrading, you'll be able to use your Ash, which now, once again, Ash is going to be the upgraded, or the currency to upgrade these skills, which means there's another use for Ash, which is amazing because you could only use it for upgrading weapons before, but now since you can use it to upgrade skills, it makes it a little bit more, a little bit better, I should say, because you're still getting Ash rooms when you max out all the weapons, so it gives you another avenue to spend it on to unlock various upgrades for each skill, once again. And now let's take a look at the actual upgrades for Emberfire. They gave us pretty much all of the upgrades, assuming that number 1 is default. So let's quickly expand it a little bit and go over it. So we can see that Emberfire upgrade tier 3, damage and burn nearby enemies with a cone of mystical flame. Okay, that's actually just the description for Emberfire, but Emberfire upgrade 3. shoot 3 fireballs in a spread shot. So we'll be able to see what that actually looks like later on, but that seems really interesting. Now, it does depend how much damage the fireballs deal to how good it actually is, but it seems pretty strong. And we can also see what the ultimate upgrade is, which is whenever you burn an enemy with Ember Fire, your burn effects deal 10 increased damage. So there's 2 avenues to look at this through, one of which is kind of like the straightforward look at the ultimate mod or upgrade, which is whenever you burn an enemy with Ember Fire, your burn effects deal 10 increased damage, which means the damage over time effects deal 10 increased damage per tick. Like, that's how I see it. Now, the other way that I thought about recently, and it could be accurate, probably isn't, but could be, is whenever you burn an enemy with Ember Fire, your burn effects deal 10 increased damage. So let's say upon burning an enemy, you deal 10 damage, right, with like 1 combustion stone. It will increase that damage by 10. Now, I don't think it's that way. Like, I don't think they're wanting us to interpret it that way, but that is another possible avenue that it could be going down. And now, once an upgrade has been unlocked, it can now appear in skill rooms and skill selectors. Now, skill rooms, I'm not sure what they mean by skill rooms, because I thought skill rooms were skill selectors. You know, rooms that drop skill selectors, but they're saying skill rooms. So the only thing I can think of is that maybe there's a new room floating around, or there's going to be a new event room, because the one thing I am kind of curious about is the fact that the only event in the game right now that gives you rewards for doing something is the Mimic King, right? And the Mimic King drops you a skill selector. So it's still technically a skill selector, not a skill room, right? So I think this is I think it's a little teaser to a new possible set of rooms, or maybe just one room, like an event. I don't know. We'll look into that later. Okay, moving on. This image shows us what the Ember Fire upgrade 2 is, which is burst, an additional cone of mystical flame behind the knight. So instead of just having 1 cone in front of you, you'll also have 1 behind you, which is pretty cool, actually. And another thing is, we can look at the Knight's Charge upgrade 3, and this is just a little teaser in here, because a lot of people like the decoy. So your Knight's Charge is a decoy projectile that stuns enemies. Now, I'm not 100% sure on how useful this will be, since Knight's Charge is probably 50% of the time used as a movement technique, not necessarily a damage or stun, or at least in my experience. And another thing that I noticed is if you look at the skills that they're using Ember Fire and Knight's Charge, and this skill selector is pretty big with 4 options. So I think you're guaranteed to get 2 options that are just new skills. And then for each of the skills you currently have, you'll be given an option to upgrade them, unless they're maxed out, that is. So it's very interesting, actually. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But that is my thoughts on it. And now, moving on, here we have the good old White Knight showing off their fancy Ember Fire upgrade. So this is the triple fireball upgrade. Now, the thing that I see with this is the fact that if we go back a little bit, the Ember Fire upgrade 3, which shoots 3 fireballs in a spread shot, you can pick up before you have the second one. So you don't have to do it in sequential order. Because if you had the second one, you would have the one going behind, right? Or am I just looking into this too deep? I think I might be looking into it too deep, or it's another subtle teaser / spoiler. But yeah. But that's not all. Combine upgrades to create powerful new synergies. Disclaimer, not responsible for adverse effects to your player color. So I think that's where they're getting at. You don't have to upgrade the skill in a certain order, which is very, very nice. Super cool. But yeah, this is like the tier 2 and tier 3 upgrades, which is the fireballs that you can see shooting out to the right, and the cone behind as well. Super cool. The Skills Mastery update goes live May 13th, which is in 2 weeks, or roughly 2 weeks, I guess. Moving on to the final section that they want to talk about is the update 1.5, the For the Players update. So this is the update before the updates, as they say, which is before the 2.0 updates or their big DLC update, and the perfect opportunity to tie off any loose ends. Have you been wanting a particular feature that hasn't made its way into the game? Do you keep seeing a cool new idea that seems like an obvious addition? Are you wondering if we even read all the player suggestions? Well, they do, and this could be the update for you. So, as you can see in this image, this is probably the most requested thing that I see in the game suggestions channel in the official Ember Knights Discord server as well. And they're finally acknowledging it, or at least putting it into the game for 1.5. So the For the Players update is the update where we're putting in some of the most requested features that include the #1 player requested feature, the most coveted save and quit. So that's right, endless looping will now be a lot less daunting as you battle to restore peace to the universe, take a well-deserved break, and then return to repeat the work fit for a hero. So they're finally bringing the save and quit in update 1.5, which honestly, that's really, really cool because it allows people like me or speedrunners or even just players that want to play casually for long periods of time to take a much needed break, close the game, play some other games maybe, and get back into the groove of Ember Knights, right? It'll definitely make endless looping much less daunting, as they say. Yeah, it'll be way easier. Anyways, they're also pushing for 4,000 reviews. Now, I haven't posted a review yet. I've been thinking about it a lot. Maybe this is my, final notice to actually do it. Also, the rip, I accidentally skipped too far. Notes. Okay. But yeah, so they're making a push to 4,000 reviews. And I think I should help them out with that. So I might leave my review in the next couple of days, but I'll have to definitely do a really detailed one. Anyways, we'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude for the incredible reception that Ember Knights has received, because all of the support we've been able to continue to put out packed update after packed update, with it all culminating in our massive 2.0 DLC update coming later this year. Now, the 2.0 updates was originally going to be in summer, but I think they're slightly behind, so it'll probably be like end of summer or maybe like midsummer, something like that. We don't know. We'll have to keep an eye out on what they say. And from the bottoms of their hearts, thank you so much for everything. Anyways, last thing for the Nexus news. Oh, one more thing before we dive back into the shadows. So they left us with this GIF, I guess you can call it. And I don't know what it is. I really don't. Like, I feel like it's some sort of illustrator, maybe. I don't know. The feather looks pretty artsy, I guess. Now, there's 2 avenues of looking at this for me. Either the hat is magical, and thus it's like an entity sort of thing, right? Or the other way is the hat isn't necessarily magical. It's just there's a small entity under it, like, I don't know, in my head, like a rat or some sort of like smaller entity. Also, another thing is there is an image right here. Let me just quickly show you guys what that is. So what it says is introducing the collector. So that's the name of the entity. Now, I don't know. I don't know what that means necessarily, but it's definitely cool. It's definitely cool. Yeah, that is all for the Nexus news update, or I guess Nexus news. See you soon, Doom Turtle. Nice. Yeah, really, really great. I'm excited for 1.4. If you can't tell, I'm very excited for 1.4. I really want to know how some of these skills work. The #1 skill that I'm actually really excited for is the dice, because I feel like there's so many cool avenues that they could have went down for the dice, or Arlen's lucky dice, that is. And I'm just kind of excited for it. I want to know what they did for it. But yeah, that's all for this video. Let me know what you guys are excited for, and or if you have any questions, comments, literally anything that you want to ask me, throw it in the comments. I read every single comment, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited as I am. If this video did help you break down the Nexus news, please leave a like on it. And if you want to see more content like this or Ember Knights gameplay, subscribe to my channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.